Hare Krishna. I am sincerely grateful and feel especially honored for this opportunity to be among so many illustrious devotees in Sri Mayapur Dham. Some of the Srila Prabhupada disciples from the earlier days here remember what an incredible, inconceivable vision Srila Prabhupada had. To make Sri Mayapur Dham the international headquarters for all of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And to build a community where people from the whole world would come. When Srila Prabhupada was first searching for a very small piece of land in a paddy field, there was just a few mutts, Gaudiya mutts, and others where devotees would come. But Srila Prabhupada's vision was not based on any material logic. It was his faith and his realization. Over 500 years ago, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu made his appearance in Mayapur. At that time, Navadwip Dham was filled with people. In fact, it was the high seat of learning for all of India. But over the centuries, like Vrindavan after Krishna, it became almost forgotten. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they proclaimed that the holy names of Krishna, the Sankirtan movement, will expand and manifest through all the towns and villages throughout this world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was searching for the true birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At the time, people were thinking it was across the river Ganga in the small town that was called Navadwip. On this side of Ganga, it was mostly fields, forests. But through his research, his prayer, he discovered with all certainty that this little place, a little field, just some Muslim families were living close by. He saw a light. And it was confirmed by his research. He brought his beloved Guru, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji, here. He was about 120 years old. And when he was set down in his basket where he would sit upon this land, he jumped into the air. First time in years, he stood up. And with tears of transcendental ecstasy, he cried out, Jai Sachinanda, Jai Sachinanda. We take away these speakers, there will be less feedback. Thakur Bhaktivinoda had written that he had vision that devotees from all over this world, Europeans, Americans, South Americans, Indians, people of all castes, of all races, of all nationalities, who are dancing and chanting together in Mayapur Dham as brothers and sisters. Srila Prabhupada not only had this faith, but he was willing to invest so much of his life and his movement's energy into fulfilling that prophecy. When His Holiness Chowpatty Swami Maharaj first came here, I think there were 5 devotees. And the roads from Calcutta were far more difficult than today. I believe they would take trains to Krishna Nagar and then boats. And devotees made a little straw hut. And Srila Prabhupada was completely happy to live in that straw hut. At the main gate today, an upgraded version of that straw hut is still there for us to see. And that is all there was. When Janani Prabhu came, the small deities of Radha Madhava, he was given charge of the worship in that little hut. In the rainy season, it was all flooded. Many snakes, many mosquitoes, many unfriendly neighbors. But yet, that risk, because Srila Prabhupada had complete faith in the instruction of his spiritual master. Before Thakur Bhakti Vinod departed from this world, he instructed his son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to spread the glories of Sri Mayapur Dham all over the world. I believe it was 1905 to 1915, to empower for himself for this apparently impossible mission. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, here in Mayapur, he chanted 1 billion names of Krishna. And then he left for Calcutta to begin the outreach. In the early 1970s, when Srila Prabhupada visited quite a small town, Gainesville, in the southeastern part of the United States, he began his talk by describing how this place is so far from Sri Mayapur Dham. You were seeing his traveling all over the world very much in relation to Mayapur Dham. And now, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of devotees from all over the world reside here. And just our little yatra by witnessing your enthusiasm, I am witnessing just a little part of Srila Prabhupada's grand dream coming true. It is said that in this age of Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, all the various holy places, their spiritual potency diminishes externally. But Sri Mayapur Dham, it is forever increasing. Mayapur Dham is none different than Vrindavan. Move this. It's very hard for me to speak with all this. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that Krishna, he appears once in a day of Brahma in Vrindavan Dham. That is approximately once in every 4,320,000,000 years. In every yuga, of every Divya Yuga, the Supreme Lord does appear as a Yuga avatar. And these various incarnations, our Krishna, who are manifesting from Vishnu. But only once in a day of Brahma does Krishna come in his original form from Sri Goloka Vrindavan to manifest his most sweet pastimes of Sri Braj Bhumi. The Kali Yuga following Lord Krishna. It was when Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu comes, not just as the Yuga avatar. Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma, is the Harinam Sankirtan. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he is not simply giving the world Harinam, but he's giving the Prem Harinam. Of Vrindavan. Krishna came as Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu along with his associates, the Panchatattva, to plunder the storehouse of love of God. Not just love of God, but the love of Sri Radha and the Brijabasis. To taste that love through the congregational chanting of the holy names and to distribute it. To distribute it without considering who was qualified and who was unqualified. Whether a place was auspicious or inauspicious. Whether the time was inauspicious or auspicious. In this age of Kali Yuga, where most avatars would protect the devotees and give liberation to the demons by killing them, Lord Caitanya, Lord Nityananda and his devotees. They killed the demoniac tendencies within the hearts of demoniac people with the weapon of the holy names, with the weapon of hearing the glories of the Lord, the process of devotional service, and gave them the highest opportunity to be liberated from sins and suffering, and to experience the very rare and special prema, or love of God. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna. Could anybody hear me? Hare Krishna. We were discussing the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Could anyone hear? "500 years ago, they had no sound systems. Srila Prabhupada described this conception of progress, where so much development of technology, but in many ways, it's trying to compensate for the increasing deficiencies. At Naimisharanya, when Sutta Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, he spoke to 80,000 sages. That means almost 8 times as many people as assembled this evening. And he had no microphone. No sound system. Because at that time, people had such empowered hearing and such empowered ability to speak. But as Kali Yuga progresses, we need so much what we conceive as progress to somehow or other compensate for what we lack. Srila Prabhupada described people lived in little villages and they were happy. Now we have airplanes and railways and cars and roads and always building better highways. But in the villages, there was no traffic jams. There was no pollution. People could make a living with what they grew on their land. So the actual standard of progress is the quality of our life, how we are happy. And of course, there's material, physical happiness, emotional happiness, and real happiness. Happiness to the true self, the soul. Spiritual happiness. And where there's spiritual happiness, we become transcendental to all the feedback of the deficiencies of material nature. So that leads us into the story of the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here in Sri Mayapur Dham. At the time, Navadwip was considered a most successful, advanced city. It was a town where there was actually a tremendous amount of wealth. The topmost educational, but along with all of those material attributes, there was arrogance, false pride, and it was just a handful of devotees. And they could see the condition of the society. I think we should just do kirtan tonight.